We're to actually showing the screen now. I forgot I had that black for a little while. So we should have ourselves back up in action. You can see now the game as it is loading. I managed to make sure I looked and was like, oh, right, I got to change that. So, um, yes, we do have the Kassadin, Soraka, Aurelia, Amumu, Urgot, and of course your Jax over here for
Yeah.
MDG. And it should be fun seeing Singed and Urgot running around because I do like those champions. They're really fun and unique, and I like seeing them run around and do cool things. So this should be pretty legit.
I really hope so. So guys, just as a big recap here, you are watching the National ESL. We are here in the Major Series qualifying round number 2. The teams are going to be Oh God Bears representing US today, as well as MD Gaming representing the EU. It's going to be a best of 1 series. Your commentators today is going to be FourCourtJester and Phreak. Your camera is going to be Phreak. So hey guys, let him know how good his map awareness is. I know he hasn't gotten tired of that line yet.
Oh, never. That will never be a line I get tired of. I'm gonna go ahead and buy myself a couple of items real quick at AFK and base, learn my skills, and be happy about this. We are actually back up to 6,000 viewers again, so let me go ahead and get ourselves underway. Um, and let's see what else we can do with this. I'm gonna go ahead and actually just hide the chat. I don't really want to be streaming all that. It should be pretty useless. So right away we have Ogai Bears running up the middle of the map. We have Corky, Tarek, and Karthus leading the way. Singed and Nocturne in the back. They're going to go ahead and push on, and let's see who has the clairvoyance advantage, of course. Both teams with CV on their supports. Tarek leading the way almost definitely with stun first, and there's a CV. And, okay, they see Amumu, they see Urgot and Aurelia, and they're afraid to check that brush for good reason. They have found Amumu, though. There's the stun. Can the rest of them get in range? Okay, Nocturne has landed a Q, but they don't have any more stuns ready. They will not get in range for Fling, so Amumu will be safe. Nocturne, of course, with a little bit of that haste buff on his Dusk Cloud, but that doesn't mean too much if he can't CC anyone. So, a little bit of action early on. They do get clairvoyance right now. Oh no, they drop a ward onto the golem. So now the God Bears will know all about those golem shenanigans. We have kept 6,000 viewers through those technical difficulties. Once again, I am sorry for that problem. We should be good to go now, though. Frame rate, unfortunately, seems to not be happy pants. Unfortunately, this is probably with a beta version of XSplit, and their login servers were down. So excuses, excuses, excuses. Totally not my fault. Don't blame me. But unfortunately, you will see choppy gameplay, and I'm sorry, we just do not have a good way of solving that right now. Hopefully, our commentary can make up for it, and your imaginations can do a lot, and at least you do see pretty pictures once in a while. And to be fair, this really is what old school casting was before anyone's computers were powerful enough to stream video. We all just shout casted audio, and that is actually where I started. So I will hopefully paint a vivid picture for you with my voice and coughing, and then all will be well. So Urgot gonna go ahead and actually pull that golem. We do see Urgot's gonna be creeping that out quite nicely. Amumu doing a lot of damage with that crying. He's gonna go ahead and do the rest of his damage here, picking up that golem for himself. And Urgot will be dual laning with Soraka. There is a stun on a Kassadin right off the bat, and that damage output is huge. That guy must waste his flash, and that is going to hurt. He's probably already going to pill back, and that's just pain sauce. No, he's actually going to chug a healing potion to keep at it. So we'll see. That's a little bit scary now. He's actually pretty much killable by 4-lay waste, and Karthus doing a very good job of zoning him out because of that fact. Unfortunately, misses the last hit, but going to be in good shape here. Corky versus Aurelia up top, so no, I am wrong. Completely standard NA metagame of the mage and the range carry soloing. Corky versus Aurelia is going to be a little bit difficult to fight. So, but meanwhile, the Urgot Soraka infinite harass lane is going to be pretty funny, to be honest. Tarek, of course, can heal, but only so much. And I was actually given an IRC message, so go ahead and take it away. I'm going to actually check my IRC real fast to make sure nothing silly is happening.
Alright guys, so while you do see Phreak on the team there for Oh God Bears, I am here over in the viewpoint of MD Gaming. Kassadin is taking quite a bit of harass, but we do got a Mumu coming in from the jungle with the blue. He's going to force the flash, but the bandage coming in there with his crying. Unfortunately, there's no support coming out of Kayla here up on the Kassadin, so that's actually not going to go down well for a gank. Instead, we are going to have a Mumu crying himself back to that jungle, but hey, with that blue buff, he can cry all he wants because he's going to have some nice infinite mana to play with. Up top, I mean, I'm a Cutie Pie, that is who's going to be playing on that Corki, is going to do a good number here on this Aurelia. Now Aurelia, though, she can do a good amount of countering with that lunge of hers, especially with, you know, with the Disparate in the health bar. She's going to actually be able to land a few different stuns, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But down south, as Phreak did say, we have that infinite harass lane. I mean, as long as we can land a lot of those acid vials coming out of Semper, it is going to be a lot. But no, we got Nocturne coming in here. He's going to be looking very good with that red and the blue buff. Going to be trying to get off that fear. The fear going on to Urgot. He does get flipped around the poison gas as well. That's going to be the first blood.
Nice right there. That was a very well-timed gank. They happened to be pushed up towards that brush, and Nocturne came in right away. They landed that stun on Tarek, that let everything go on from there. Singe didn't have enough mana to fling. Koa did get enraged for that tether on the E right there. That was just all kinds of perfect play right there. Just making sure that was working the right way. And it was just, I mean, 3 guys with crowd controls and a lot of damage up, but I think it's going to work, right? It's going to work that way. So, well played, though. Great, very good job by OGB. And, of course, we saw last time, though, the American team got first blood and still lost. So, of course, do not count anyone out just yet. Lots of awesome still, you know, in the works, of course, in this game. So we'll see how this all plays out.
Yeah, right now Mumu's just resuming a little bit jungle. He has his red and blue. He's going to come back here over to the Wolves, but we do have Urgot returning to lane as well. He's picked himself up a Doran's Blade.
What? Okay. Randomly stopping the sentence. Apparently there's some sound in the background. And of course I start coughing at the perfect time as well. So Corki versus Aurelia is still shaping up quite well. Corki, I believe, was still ahead in minion kills, 21 to only 19, so it's actually pretty close by, but there's still a full minion wave for Corki to kill. So Aurelia won't do what she can. She might have just dropped a ward down there to watch herself from ganks. And she is still able to pressure Corki. She could have actually jumped on Corki right there if she wanted to, of course. Probably would not have gotten a lot of damage output there. She would have pulled minion aggro and then gotten counterattacked. But it does have the ability as Aurelia. Whenever a minion is low, you can jump to it and then jump to the champion. And that is probably one of the funnest things to do as Aurelia, is a double jump onto someone. It just makes you feel like really pro and awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and not leave real quick. And now I'm back in action. That's good.
Yeah, try to avoid those AFK messages as often as you can. I think the viewers would appreciate that a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that. I had something I had to attend here to with my wife, but we're all good to go. Again, we did have a Clairvoyance go down by your red. We did see Nocturne heading down south, so I can only assume he's going to be doing something there. But in the middle, Aurelia's come up from top. We do have a lot of harass going down there onto that Karthus, and he looks like he's going to be okay, although I think we blew the Ignite as well as that Blade Dance. Blade Dance? Blade Expulsion? What's the ultimate there?
I don't actually remember what it's called, to be honest. It's Aurelia the Will of the Blades. She's got an ultimate called Transcendent Blades. Transcendent Blades is the ultimate. Thank you very much. I got that right. I'm amazing at this game. Yeah, so Transcendent Blades was popped. She did miss a couple of those shots here. It's only like a 70, 80 second cooldown or so. It's not that bad, so it's not that big of a deal. She'll just, get that cooldown up probably by the time the next minion wave spawns and just heal up whatever she needs to. It was a good try on that gank. It did force Karthus back to base. He has only Sorcerer's Shoes and Doran's Ring, so he's not stacking anything right now. It's not like he's running around landing with a Catalyst or stacking up between the Goddess or stacking up with Vajay's. He's just running around and rising himself up basically right now. Uh-oh, there's a flash from Tarek. I don't know why he would flash for that because they're not really in range to do anything here. So kind of wasted flash with Karthus not really in range. So that's, I think, just a little bit of a mistake by an over-aggressive Tarek. So still the level 6 up at top. And there we go. Corki putting some harassment onto Aurelia, forcing her back. She could have turned around right then and stunned him and actually forced him to take a lot of minion aggro right there. And then again, she just full heals off that minion wave and is now back up to full health and farms up quite a bit of gold. So 38 CS on that Corki, a good 37 on Aurelia. So both players doing, actually, sorry, no, now up to 40 on Corki. So Corki's now continuing to outlast hit that Aurelia. Has the Tear of the Goddess already, so is spamming up that mana quite nicely. And every time she casts one of those rockets, she's going to get more free mana and probably just, basically just have enough mana to always cast rockets whenever they're up as long as he has the ammo for it. So that's working quite well for him. He's just stacking himself up.
We do have some pings going down there in your jungle. We are going to find that Nocturne with the blue buff as he goes over to those Wraiths. Amumu on our side just picked up another blue buff on the Golems. He's now level 6. He did go to town, picked himself up some Boots of Speed as well as a ward, and we do have a ward sitting outside that Dragon. So any attempts coming out of you guys for the bottom lane gank or a Dragon or just checking her out. So we did see Nocturne right there. And actually, it does look like you guys are going to make a solid attempt here to Dragon.
Yeah, we are going for it. And Karthus, of course, going to help as well. Puts down the wall of pain. Is going to spam Qs, and no one is coming in range. Amu is trying. He has ghosted, but he will not get in range yet for the smite. The smite was early from OGB, but they did not manage to pick that up in time. If he had been, I think, a full 1 second sooner, he would have actually been able to smite steal that. Tarek getting silenced by Cassidy. Cassidy without boots, but has a catalyst.
They're not
to let him lane for whichever.
Now, bottom lane, we do have Singe, actually. He's going to get a little bit of a harass because we did have that Amumu come over there, right? And he came down, and we tried to do the bandage and the ultimate. We even had the swap coming out from Urgot, but Singe, he's quite a tanky character, very hard to take down, and 3v1 did not work. We have the Clairvoyance go out. We do see you guys there in town. What's Tarek going to do, though?
Yeah, no flash, unfortunately, for Tarek. He probably could have, at this point, he probably could have gone for it, because Nocturne is 6 and has not popped his ultimate yet. So Tarek could have, if he had flash up, flash stunned one of them. Nocturne could have ulted, flashed in, put on the fear. Karthus would have been in range eventually for wall and lay waste. And if any of their flashes were down, they would have picked up one of the kills there. So I think if Tarek had his flash up, they probably could have gone for it, but it would have required like a lot of cooldowns and a lot of coordination. It could have happened though. I could see it. But either way, you know, they're still safe regardless. Fights going on as best they can.
Well, Amumu, I mean, he didn't get off that smite steal onto the dragon. Instead, he's going to come back here to the red. Looks like he's going to try to finish that off. But, I mean, we're 10 minutes into this game now, Phreak, and we only have 1 kill on the board. And that was the first blood with the triple gank here on the bottom. It seems to be a very relaxed game from both players, or both teams.
Yeah, they've definitely been pressuring each other a lot, but all the players have been good enough to understand, like, how much damage will I take if I get ganked and getting away from it in time. It's more a measure of you know, them being skilled enough to know when to leave tactically than it being really relaxed. They've been constantly pressuring each other, and we saw that almost kill at bottom, right? But Sims just barely tankly enough to get away from it. That kind of stuff will happen all the time, where it'll be like an almost kill and almost things going on. But for the most part, players are able to very easily read their opponents 2-3 steps ahead and know, like, okay, well, Tarek has flash, he can come in from here, and so I won't be in a position where he could flash stun me. And then I know that Karthus, you know, well, maybe he's not in range for flash stun, so I'm actually okay, I'm safe this time. And it's all just a lot of permutations of that, where they know what their opponents know and they know what they can do, and so they can get away from them for the most part.
Aurelia's actually she went back to town, picked herself up some nice health and mana potions, but she's now also finished off a Wriggle's Lantern, so we're going to see a lot more wards going down from her. Down south, Singe also trying to do a little bit of harass. We don't really see too many of OGB around. We do see the Nocturne covering mid. Karthus now coming back as well. Whoa, he's going Medjay. He has to be pretty confident for this game if he's going to go a snowball item.
Yeah, that's true. As we saw last game, right, the Karthus certainly did very, very well, but his goal is to flash into the enemy team and die, and that makes him a Jai. It's not usually worth getting, so I'm definitely interested to see how well he's going to do, because he's got a lot of minion kills. He's certainly very ahead in items. He has the most gold in the game, because even though Singe has that 1 kill, he doesn't have enough minion kills to make up for a first blood kill. So the most farm champion in the game is actually going for Snowball instead of like getting a giant item and killing people with it, because Majias does not cost much less than a BF wand, and that's going to be... That's a ton of increased damage off of getting the needlessly large rod. But they have found Amumu. Amumu isn't the bottom. PewDiePie does know about it. He has been pinged. And yeah, he's going to be safe right now. The Corky will be safe. Does have Mad Immune though. So he's running around with a... Oops, I went to the bottom of the screen for no reason. Does have a nice... so 106 AD on Aurelia. But the Amumu going to run around with 122. Apparently not enough mana to make that Mad Immune quite worth it just yet. He's running around with just the plus 47. So that will eventually grow over time. And here we go, Amumu. Squaring off a little bit against that Nocturne, but they're going to both be safe. He's blue pilling. He's been pinged, but it looks like he's going to be safe. And there is the Golem buff. The Golem is up.
We actually have a ward right there. That. So, I mean, we saw him blue pill out, so we're actually going to try to catch him here at the blue as he does come back, I can only assume. We still have that red on Amumu, so he might be able to set up something here, but he's nowhere in range. In fact, there's actually nobody doing anything tricksy at this point. We're all still kind of laning. Amumu's up by the Golems. Kassadin, however, is going to be heading over to our ward that just blew up, and I do see your eyeball over there. And, wow, did you guys actually counter ward the ward?
Yeah, it's a pink ward. We dropped the pink ward there and blew it up, and we see V to make sure you weren't taking Golem, and so we have a, you know, despite the Clairvoyance, just full control over this, and Karthus is going to pick up the Golem pretty much uncontested. We do see Kassadin running around a little bit. We have a ward right underneath him, and he is not going to get stunned. Tarek wanted to get a stun over the wall, but would not reach one, so no free harassment there, but now we have a blue buff Karthus, and that makes things, of course, very, very scary for the enemy team.
Yeah, blue buff Karthus just means he's going to be spamming the replacement to his auto attack, which is, I do believe, that Q ability of his, and that's just really annoying to fight against. Kassadin, with his items, not really going a lot of reactionary items. In fact, he's going to try to Rift Walk out of that one. Does get that stun off. It unfortunately not going to be any kind of follow-up, but he has himself that Catalyst and Sorcerer's Shoes, so if he was going for more of a reactionary to his opponent, we might have seen a Mercury Treads come out instead, but it does look like he's going to go full DPS this round.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. You could usually, as Kassadin, like you could generally rely on your mobility and a little bit of bonus health to prevent burst. Like obviously, getting Merc Treads will help you not die to burst because you'll remove the CC faster. But generally speaking, yeah, generally speaking, sorry, that as long as you have enough health to survive those first two attacks, you're going to be okay. Unfortunately, I am still receiving reports that the stream is choppy, and there's actually not anything we can do about it right now. As basically we're running out of beta version. Oh, sorry, there's a fight right there instead, and Nocturne has come across the map, and Amumu taking so much damage, going to get blocked down right now. Has taken the fear, and that is now a 2-0 for OGB Bears. Karthus picking up that kill this time. The second assist for Tarek. Basically the exact same players from last time, except Karthus got added on this time. But yeah, as I was saying, unfortunately we had a few technical difficulties starting up this morning. Had to use a different version of the streaming software. And unfortunately, with this beta version, there's a couple of bugs with it, and unfortunately, it's causing the stream to be visually choppy. And it's just every once in a while these issues come up, and it's very unfortunate these happen. But every once in a while it does crop up like this. Of course, the flash has been forced onto Karthus, but they're going to be okay. They picked up the dragon pretty much safely. Blue has now, I think they got a dragon earlier as well, so it's 2 dragons to 0, 2 kills to 0. So great play so far from these guys, and they're just continually just making this huge advantage theirs. But this is exactly how the last game turned out as well. So there's no guarantees on how this is going. Now Corki jumping right onto Aurelia, spamming down as hard as he can, actually getting her down below half health. She will jump back on, drop that stun, and there's the Transcendent Blaze, and that Corki's taking a ton of damage. He was 1 hit from dead, and unfortunately Aurelia will not be able to chase that one down. But if she gets her Q off of cooldown, if she can jump off that range mini, she will kill him. But it seems like the Q was not the spell that was maxed, and so unfortunately she will not be able to jump already. It goes down to like a 7-second cooldown when you max it out. But Corki getting forced all the way down. So much damage of it. You're going to see how much health Aurelia is pulling back onto herself with the He10 style buff right there. Just 41 damage per attack, even more when she procs Wriggles. And that's making her very, very hard to kill.
Yeah, definitely those big bursts of hit points from the Wriggles, as well as all the different burst damage she can come out with. It is kind of deceptive to see her low, but then you go in for it. But actually going in for it, we do have 3 teammates coming up here to grab the kill, and that's not going to go contested at all. We do have a Rift Walk coming in, though. He's going to take out Corki as a little bit of revenge. And Kayla there, trying to get a little bit into the action. Came a little late to the party, but was able to clean up that Corki. So, I mean, hey, for every good reaction, there's a positive and equal reaction, and that's going to put us now with a kill on the board for MDG.
Yeah, that was a really good play from the Kassadin, of course. Oh, we completely missed a kill, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Nocturne actually died to a Mumu right there. Probably some help from Urgot as well. Let's see the assist. Yeah, Urgot picking up only 1 assist, but yeah, that makes sense. Urgot getting the assist, and that was it. So a Mumu and Urgot managed to duo onto that Nocturne. I completely missed what happened, but he died right around here. And it was obviously a great move, and fail on my part not seeing what happened at all, and apparently yours too. So sad face, but bringing the score back to 3-2. Of course, just the 1 kill advantage now. Kassadin with a blue buff is probably going to make some things happen, though. The next few minutes could be really, really good for these guys. Singe solo pushing bottom against 2 champions. Actually, his ultimate's on, but maybe they can pick up this kill, and maybe we might try to stun. No, he will back off. Singe has blown the ultimate. So that is now a tower kill and 2 dragons for OGB Bears. 3-2 the kill score as well. So they are the advantage somewhat. Karthus with a lot of minion kills as well. 125 on Corki, 104 on Karthus, and actually not that far away from everyone else. You can see Nocturne at 95, but Cass, Aurelia, Urgot all breaking 100 as well. So looks like minions are a little bit in the advantage of MDG. Actually, I was surprised by that, but they're actually last hitting quite well this game. And they even have the first gold for 10 item, as they have Soraka running around with a Philosopher's Stone.
This is actually something that I saw a lot of last night during the game of the week. Like every game totaled something in around 10 Hearts of Gold or Philosopher's Stones, and it seems to be more of a big tanky gold per 5 metagame that people are running these days. So it does look like MDG going to be capitalizing on that a little bit, at least with Soraka. I don't really see that kind of stuff in the works for anyone else, but I mean, that's a lot of gold per 5 that actually starts stacking up over time.
Yeah, for sure. And an interesting point to note, we keep talking about these different meta games because they're very, very interesting to me to see these things finally clash together and seeing how they play out. Because they're supremely interesting to see just completely different styles just go in and like just mash together, putting that round peg in a square hole and seeing what comes out, if it's spaghetti or a rectangle or a rhombus or what. And so, but basically what's going on though is just as one of those points, Aurelia is doing the standard, completely standard like EU Aurelia build, which is full tank stats, wits end, and all that fun stuff. So actually has picked up just 2 null magic mantles. One of those is going to be wits end, one of those is going to be merc treads, and just playing the lane sustain auto attack style with maxing W. Whereas NA Aurelias, we see them go fast Trinity Force, and they oftentimes go 21 offense. They get armor penetration. They're all about that Trinity Force Q proc, and that's actually what they max first is Q and E, and they go burst as opposed to sustain. And that's actually very. I think it's cool that a champion can do completely separate builds, and they're both successful. And it's interesting to see them actually combat each other. And it's too bad it's exclusive picks. I'd love to see a burst Aurelia fight a sustain Aurelia and just see what happens. But this Aurelia is definitely going to go down. It's not able to sustain her health enough. And you know what? That Karthus, the Magi's is worth it. He's got 6 stacks now. That Karthus is doing some work, being 3-0.
But we're not going to be seeing him play exactly like we did last game. As you did say, I mean, they flash in there with all the AoE going on. They get off as many shots as they can. They intentionally die and then throw down that ultimate. I don't think we're going to be seeing the same kind of strategy with Oh God Bears as they play out their cards, because he seems to be very careful right now, going on for those positive ganks. I mean, that was a 2 versus 1 up there. Unfortunately, I don't know where she was running off to, but Amumu's also just, you know, trying his best to keep this this mid tower alive. Speaking of towers, that top one's going to be dying, and that's now 2 towers down for MD Gaming.
Yeah, so we have Cassidy back up in the mid, has now picked up and uses the large rod, the good stuff there, 80 AP picked up, and he's doing what he can to farm away these minions, but there was a Taric with an Oracle's off waiting in the wings with a lot of Doran's wings too. That stun's of course going to get blinked away, but with the stun is long enough that he can do a lot of damage here. But yeah, there we go, levels to Rift Walk, only a 5-second cooldown, managing to get himself out of that fight afterwards. So it's a pretty safe Cassidy, and let's see what else they can do. Urgot is coming towards the bottom, will spam out that E, will not land any damage output, but there are 2 players from the European team kind of waiting around in the wings, and the new Dragon should come up pretty soon, I think. I think that's why they're kind of waiting around in the wings nearby. Singed, of course, chain pushing the right-hand side. Looks like he might be going for a fast Riley's Crystal Scepter with that sun, with the, not the Sunfire Cave, but the Belt of Giant Strength. We'll see how that plays out. And we do have a little bit of a push in mid as well. A blue buff Urgot means a lot of spam as well. That dragon is up. Taric was forced to flash out. Good play by Amumu, forcing Taric to flash. There's the Cassidy, jumps in for silence and slow, and they can get a swap onto, and yeah, they will swap now on the Cassidy, and Cassidy will fly. Sorry, wow. Anyway, take it over because I can't even talk.
What do you mean take it over? You just used friggin' paranoia on me. I can't see anything. But yeah, it does look like big damage going down. Karthus, he finally goes down as well. And who did die? We did have Amumu go down. It does look like everyone else is quite healthy. Aurelia is going to be trying to chasing down Corki. But Singed, the big key thing is that Singed wasn't at that fight. Now he's coming in. He's going to grab a kill with that Ignite toss combo onto Urgot. But no, that was a 4 versus 4 in the mid. Aurelia was up top. Singed was pushing bottom. Looks like he didn't actually do that much for a push, but at the same time he's going to come back here mid. We're going to take out that mid tower now. Looks like we're just going to keep on rolling with the momentum, as it does look like we have the next tower in sight. We still have at least 3 Oh God Bear members here. Cassidy's coming back into the fight. We have now all resurrected. Urgot's still down, however. I'm not actually going to be leaving town, so don't count on any kind of Jack support. But this Wit's End came out just before that fight on this Aurelia, and unfortunately I just don't think she's able to capitalize as much onto it as she wanted, because she's just too late to that fight.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. It's a great job by Oh God Bears to have picked that fight up. They managed to fight near their turret. I mean, well, to be honest, like Karthus was one who got initiated on. The rest of the team reacted very, very well to make it not the worst thing in the world. But having that flash up was really, really convenient, because as soon as he got swapped, he flashed right back to where he was. He did get picked up and killed, but the cool thing was he actually got the kill on Amumu after his death. So even though he lost 2 stacks for dying, he picked them right back up for killing Amumu. And now we have a very tenuous situation here. Amumu has initiated on. Of course, they do have Dragon on their side. And oh man, that Taric got just destroyed right now. And now Corki going to get swapped. It's in the middle of this team. And Corki getting completely crushed now. Singed taking a lot of damage as well. And there is the flash from Aurelia. Aurelia does have Lizard buff. Will get the slow as well. And that is a kill. 3-1 right there. And now they will get a free kill on the Dragon. Great coordination there by MDG, bringing it back to 6-7. They're only down 1 kill. They've now picked up a dragon, meaning it's 1-2 on dragons. They're down 2-0 on tower, or sorry, 3-0 on towers. So a lot of it, I mean, basically every advantage that matters is still in the favor of Oh God Bears, but they did just do a lot of good things for themselves there. That was wonderful. Let's see if there were any killing sprees there. There was on that earlier Karthus kill, of course. Yeah, they got that kill on Karthus earlier, that 3-0, but no one else actually has more than 2 kills, so no kill sprees there.
No, it says Kayla is on a killing spree from Cassidy.
Oh yeah, I just mean like kill spree endings for bonus gold.
My mistake. Right now,
you got a killing spree. Oh, go for it.
I can't.
Right, no, you can't see anything. So Nocturne comes in there, damage output all over the place, and there's the Karthus ult from Death. We'll see what they can do. They have picked up Urgot, and it looks like they're now going to pick up Aurelia, but Aurelia sustaining as hard as she can, but takes a heal just barely onto Nocturne in time. She was not quite able to sustain enough. Amuma gets out just barely. 1-2 that score. Karthus Cassidy not in the fight in time to be able to do anything about this, but could probably jump onto this Corki and do a lot of damage. Corki does have a Negatron cloak, but still could get bursted a little bit by this Kassadin. By the way, a game with Kassadin and Karthus actually really hard to say. I'm just going to go for that right now. Those are hard to keep apart sometimes because they're both ranged, or they're both mages with K sounds who are really awesome. So forgive me for that one. But Kassadin with Golem buff going to do what he can. Does have his big awesome AP Adam Rabbidan's Death Cap already, and Karth is now going to pick up Golem for himself. Nice. So lots of good advantages being picked up for these guys. Both mages going to be running around with blue buff. This Nocturne going to maybe put a fear on. No, we'll flash away from that. So that's a safe Kassadin. Kassadin will pick up some more minions and do a good job there. Karthus with blue again. It looks like he's going to go for a fast... I think this is going to be Riley's Crystal Scepter with his Giant's Belt. So he's going an extremely different build from what we saw last game, going Bajai Soul Stealer to carry the AP, and then going tanky with Rod of Ages and Riley's. And Riley's actually a really good choice because his Defile does proc at 50% slow on Riley, so you can chain slow everyone around him for pretty... I mean, it's pretty decent. 50% slows aren't, too shabby, especially when you get the entire enemy team, and when you're running around with 3,000 health, that's going to work quite nicely. I'm ever so slightly surprised that he's not going like MR per level glyphs or anything like that. Instead, probably going the pretty standard AP per level. So he's not really going tanky by rune choice, but is going somewhat tanky by item choice, and that's just kind of cool to see. And we'll see how that ends up playing out. Tarek hasn't started building any team items yet. Has Merc Treads and just Doran's Ring so far. And really do say I do love Doran Ring Tarek because the AP races are quite high. He has a 1-to-1 on the stun, 0.5 on shatter. I believe it's close to 1-to-1 on the heal. And wow, they're going for Baron already. I don't know if you can see that or not. But
yeah, we got pings going down. We don't see it, but we got the pings.
Okay, yeah, there is a ward now dropped in there. So Tarek without Oracles will no longer be able to clear that ward easily. Urgot trying to spam down, seeing if he can find any opponents. Will not just yet. So they're going to be safe for now. And of course, as Karth is more farmed, you're going to be closer to being dead to Requiem. Hopefully you're okay.
Every time we have that paranoia go off, it's just my screen goes totally blank. So don't worry about those kind of things there, Mr. Phreak.
All right. Just making sure you're not going to die to Karthus and randomly give away.
I got myself 6 null magic mantles. I'm feeling pretty safe.
All right, I'm just making sure. It's always, you don't want to give some guy free stacks in a tournament game. Like, oh, right, that. So, yeah, fair enough. Of course, Jax is really good MR and level ups as well, so that should be happy. And, I mean, they're trying to jump into this fight. I mean, it is just ghosting across the map. They could pick up Karthus, maybe. He will hit the bandage shots, but he will miss the bandage shots in the Fog of War, unfortunately. But they have found Singed, and Singed taking a lot of damage from Urgot. He has been dropped now down below 1/3 health. And Mumu gets the ultimate off, and they're going to try to pull up Singed some more. Will not quite pick that one up either. And there comes Nocturne onto Aurelia, but Aurelia not dying either. There's just damage going off everywhere, but no one is quite dying. They finally get the kill on Aurelia, but they will pick up Karthus. Amumu dying now, and they're going to try to pick up Singed. Singed getting quite low, and there's the Karthus and the Kassadin as well, and that is a lot of damage. Karthus should not get that kill quite on the Kassadin, but they have picked up the 3rd kill, picking up Urgot at the very end. So Urgot going and dying to Corki. Well played there by Corki, picking up the kill on Urgot. So,
Tarek!
Oh, I whiffed it. I'm sorry. Tarek picks up the kill on Kassadin. I can't. Tarek chased a Kassadin.
Well, Kassadin was up here by the high ground, rifts over to the dragon, and there just happened to be a Tarek predicting where he was going.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Tarek picked up himself a nice free golem buff. Now 4-2 that kill track, and of course getting a nice 476 gold. Let me just double check that real quick. 476 gold from picking that one up. So very well done by Tarek to pick that up. And Soraka is farming some minions right now with a little bit of infuse. And Corki almost level 18. That's going to be a really nice advantage, of course, with the Mana Mune giving him mana into damage. The level ups give him mana per level, so it's going to be bonus damage coming up. And cool, apparently we have the update that the Observer spell is going to be working now with next game, so we have solved the issues on our end. Riot Games working through the weekends, getting the Observer spells to work. So if we have another game to play on this exciting series, we will have Observer mode ready for it. That should be. But from what I hear, some of the teams aren't ready to play, so this might be our last game. We initially planned to play 3, then I heard that might just be 2, unfortunately. So if someone can give me the update on if you've upped that back to 3 or not. I'm not quite sure.
We'll grab the updates after the round, and I can check in with the admins.
Great.
But you know, future games aside, we still half hour into this game, 13-9 right now. Oh God Bears is leading the score. Checking out the number of turrets that you guys still have up, and it is actually 100%. We have not been able to push down a turret here. The EU style team, a lot of this stuff, it really does differ, and they haven't been able to actually take a turret quite yet. I mean, this Karthus with that Medjay has just been doing so much damage. Doesn't matter, he dies, picks up 2 kills afterwards, and gets all those stacks back anyways.
So I found a minor workaround for the frame rate issues. If I keep spamming left click on the minimap, it updates every frame I click. So I can get us up to like 7 FPS now if I just left click spam as the game's going on. So of course your team has gotten rid of that ward at Baron, so we have no idea what's going on right now. Baron might be dying, it might not. I really don't know, but looks like that's not going to be the case. And I'm going to start animating fights like this just to get you guys better frame rates in these battles.
I can hear you clicking away. It's good practice for your StarCraft 2 career.
I prefer the tactical games anyway. I'm all about League of Legends, to be honest. And so we're going to move in here, and I'm going to be AFK real quick. So let me go ahead and not do that. And now we're good and back into the fight.
Yeah, we do have all 5 of MDG here just hanging around. We have taken out that counter ward at the Baron, but no big pushes going down quite yet. We do throw down a ward in these bushes because we do want to try to cut off all kind of avenues of damage going down, because we don't want to be surprised if and when that Baron does go down. Big damage going down in the mid, though. It's just a little bit of harass. Nocturne going to be trying to throw out his Fairy Dust. It's not Fairy Dust, I just call it Fairy Dust, don't worry guys. And she's going to be picking up some kills. Now she is level 17, she's leading the pack here for MD Gaming. Corki, we did notice, is 17, he's also now 18, so Corki wins the race to the end game. And I don't know, so far, I like how she's been going through everything. She's 197 creep kills, but look at Corki, 250. Nobody's even actually close to that. Aurelia's going to be picking up to about the 200 mark here, but she also has 0 kills, 4 deaths to her name. So I don't think she's actually quite worked out quite as well as an assassin as MDG really wanted her to. Soraka with 16 creep kills. It's good to see that she is giving away those creep kills to the more beefier kind of heroes, the carry types, and she has also picked herself up a Shurilius for a little bit of extra survivability and lane ability. But at this point, I mean, she is so underfarmed. She is also 0-1-4, so she has picked up some assist gold, but we're probably going to start needing some more here so we can start snowballing. We still have 4 members here in the mid. Aurelia is going to come join us. That's going to be 5 here in the mid. Hopefully we can get a nice push out onto one of these towers, or maybe go Dragon, because I think it's still up.
Dragon, I see the marker being gone for me, so it's
gone now for us too.
So, yeah, Aurelia now getting that Banshee spell is going to help her a lot in these fights. Most of the damage coming out is magic. Corki's putting out some damage, but he's not the main threat here with Karthus and Singe really putting in a lot of effort. Oh man, Nocturne pops his ultimate, trying to get away from those chases. Looks like he was very afraid of Kassadin. So now without that ult, it's going to be a little bit dangerous for Nocturne. Of course, the team is coming up, and they're going for Baron right now.
We see
so this is going to be an attempt at Baron. Here comes the enemy team from around. There's the Aurelia from the backhand side. Baron is not very low just yet. Maybe gets the ultimate off. Very, very good ultimate. Looks like Karthus is getting destroyed right now. Aurelia does pick up 1 kill, and this is a lot of pain happening right now to these guys. And Urgot's getting low, but there is the Karthus ultimate, and he will pick up 1. Urgot's still pretty safe, to be fair, but they have managed to pick everything else up down here. So we go over here, and we see Singe trying to chase Urgot, but Urgot looks like he's ghosting away, and they will not go back on a Baron. 2-2 is that kill score. We have Singed and Nocturne up here, Tarek down there, Amumu, Urgot, Aurelia somewhere around there. 2-2. They have picked up Karthus. I don't believe Karthus got any kills from death. I believe everyone died before his ult went through, so Karthus losing some stacks. That's always a really good fight to take. And
just
Cassidy
quick
unfortunately
correction
did
there.
die.
Yeah, Cassidy died because of the ult.
Oh, he did die to Karthus? Okay. That's fair then. So, yeah, so Karthus, of course, you know, getting some more Magi stacks out of that. Probably still staying around 6. We're going to check on that real quick. No, actually up to 8 now. Karthus doing better and better as time goes on, of course, picking up that 1 assist from the other kills. So, Karthus should be pretty happy with how this game's going. He's above average on Magi stacks. And Nocturne's going to go for a red buff, but he might give the way to Corki. Looks like not.
Well, Amumu's over by the blue, although he is going to pill himself back home. Amumu's items have been all very tank-oriented. He has himself that cloth armor, Negatron cloak, a Mercury tread, Sunfire. He's now also going with 2 regrowth pendants. So, I mean, he's very oriented here of, you know, being very good in those initiations and just trying to body block, take as many shots as he can for his team, which is, you know, really good to see. You know, those tank roles played very nicely. What's going on over at the Baron?
We don't actually see much. We see Cassidy and Soraka running back around it, but everyone's basically laning right now. Karthus was hiding in a brush trying to see if he could find a gank, but he's going to have to be afraid of the enemy team and not do anything about that. We got to pick up some more sweet items right there. Picking up my phage like a boss. Let's see what else I can do. Yeah, let's see. Urgot and Soraka just chilling out in the middle. Looks like, oh man, the entire team for MDG has now grouped up in the mid, and we look at the team fight score, 15-11, so the kills are very close once more. And like we saw last game, you know, it started out so well for the American team, and then Europeans were like, team fights. So we'll see how this plays out. Karthus, though, is really, really doing great work in this game. And they have found Corki. Corki's Banshee is now gone. They got 45 seconds till that comes back up, so they have a really good chance at initiating back onto him. And we did finally see Aurelia start doing some work, and she lived through the fight. So Aurelia is now, I think, starting to become a force to be reckoned with. Because of that Banshee spell, she's much more durable now. It's probably going for Randuin's next. Maybe even a Sunfire, and will start putting out crazy good damage in the near future.
She also has that Wit's End. I mean, you can never really discount another 42 bonus damage and subtract that from your mana. A lot of people like to underestimate that when we get down to it, but right now it is kind of a very passive game. We do see OGB already there and stacked up. It does look like you guys are going to go for that Baron. We know about that. We do have to throw down that eyeball, stop that from going down. You throw down that ward. I don't think we have oracles. No, I don't see any oracles here for MD.
Oh, you know what? It actually doesn't have, I don't have to click the name. I can just standard left click and update the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and spam left clicks the entire game now and get a little bit better frame rate. That way I can still scroll on the map with my keyboard. They're going onto the turret, and the turret will go down quite nicely. Amumu, though, in the front of it, Singed, putting a little bit of damage off. I think he might have Rileys as well. So they're going double Rileys on the team, interestingly enough. But Singed has his Banshees building another Negatron cloak. That's probably going to be Force of Nature. And let's see what these guys can do for the rest of this. Urgot going to spam out onto the brush a little bit. OGB does have to be, of course, very aware of this, but their ward does know that there's no Baron killing going on just yet. Lightning still with that Oracles, though, could clear out more of the more wards, and they could always threaten Baron. So no one will ever lay in bottom for the rest of this game unless it's to someone of the global. So I think Karthus won't leave because he actually needs more than just his ultimate. But someone like Nocturne could kind of do it and just teleport halfway across the map. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. And of course, his ult is global in the first place, just the paranoia debuff. So there are ways that Nocturne could solo bottom, but what he will do is solo the dragon, and he gets that fast. Nice job by Nocturne with Youmu's and Wriggles doing some good work. Or he has Banshee. He's probably going to be building now more tanky stuff. And I don't know if that's going to be Frozen Mallet or if that's going to be a Sunfire Cape or even Rileys, which I highly doubt, but definitely trying to build some more health back up for himself.
We have no indication at all of that the Dragon's even missing. I did see that Youmu's there on Nocturne as we have a little bit of damage going down here onto Blizz, who's going to be that Singed. He's taking a good amount, but it does not look like we're going to be following that up. Karthus looks very powerful with his aura going there, and he is sitting at 310 ability power. We do throw down that eyeball. We do see some spam coming down from Urgot because he did get that acid off, and it just does not look like, you know, we're in the optimal position. The team over here on MD is kind of split over the 2 different lanes, and this actually might be very devastating for Amumu. No, okay, we're not going to have that jump on, but a lot of poking going down from both teams.
So I discovered more and more ways to make my frame rate update more. I can actually spam keyboard buttons as well. Every time I up on a mouse button or up on a keyboard button, the frames update. So I'm just spamming JKL semicolon on repeat now, which actually gives us a reasonable frame rate. I can actually kind of tell what's going on now. So I'm going to just let you guys enjoy my keyboard spam the rest of this game, but it will allow us to show off this game in a much more suitable fashion. So I'm glad I found some ways to make it a little bit more watchable. Hopefully this helps everyone quite a little bit. Get the action going on now. Amumu taking up the ultimate, going for Karthus right away. Karthus flashes, but he's still very low. Will die right there to Aurelia. Aurelia taking a ton of damage from Corki. It looks like she will flash, and I believe she will live, but there's the Karthus ult. That's going to be a triple kill, almost potentially, right there for Karthus, and that is a lot of dead people now. Urgot trying to run away. Tarek will have the stun soon, and there's the slow from Singed, and that is some pain. Only Kassadin alive. Kassadin did make it out, but they only killed Karthus, so they dove really hard and took a lot of damage for it. So, I mean, when you sit there just diving on a Karthus, you know, you get Corki getting his full Gatling gun going off. You get Singed with the poison trail doing great things. This actually is making my wrist extremely tired, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to keep this going. Another Rift Walk there from Kassadin, but he will get flung backwards, but of course Rift Walk will come back up. He is level 18, has some cooldown reduction from Runes and Mastery, so he's going to be pretty safe. And yeah, they're just into the inhibitors already. Looks like the American team of Oh God Bear is going to put in some work now, 19-12 onto the inhibitor now. And they're doing some really, really good things. Nocturne has been pushing top, has killed the turret as well. This is now the second inhibitor to go down. I'm going to switch hands and keep pressing those buttons to give you guys some frames.
Yeah, it does look like that top inhibitor's gone. We've lost 2 towers, 2 inhibitors, and I mean, if you think 1 lane down with those super creeps is bad, wait till you have to deal with 2. It is almost irrecoverable, but we have seen some miracle works there in the past. We do have that eyeball going down. We're going to see Nocturne going to be taking our red, and I do think that Baron is now very ripe for the pickings.
Yeah, it's actually, I have a theory basically. So like, 1 inhibitor down, you can kind of do anything about it. Usually, in most cases, actually, the Nexus turrets, at least it was this way until the minion buffs, a Nexus turret could regen and always hold off 1 inhibitor. It could always just sit there and tank it, and with minions, the turret would regen back to full before the next wave actually was in range to attack it. But in this case, when you have 2, you must always babysit in some way, and that basically once 2 inhibitors are down, you get map control for free. For the most part. So they're doing a good job right here of letting Aurelia and other people pick up these buffs for themselves, but for the most part, usually 2 inhibs down means you can no longer do anything around the map pretty much safely. So we're going to see how that plays out, though. Oh God Bears, of course, with great map control now. They are in a huge, huge advantage. They have a slight dragon advantage. Of course, they do have more champion kills as well, and they're well ahead in turrets as well. Only 2 tower kills for MDG versus looks like 7 on the other side. So lots and lots of advantages for Oh God Bears. It could still turn around. There's never, you know, you can never say never. So there's always a chance at it, but this could turn pretty harsh pretty quickly.
Never say never. I'm pretty sure that's a fairly popular pop culture reference that I'm not going to get into. But yeah, I mean, we have seen big fortune, you know, bestowed upon some teams that are down in their luck. But at this point, with those 2 lanes down, if this team fight does not work out, it's going to be the end. Amumu throwing down his ultimate, has to get to force. Oh man, take it away.
Oh, so much damage to the Kassadin right now. Kassadin is blown up incredibly hard. Can't even Rift Walk away. It's Amumu just like, dying to the back of Karthus' Defile. Now they're onto Urgot. This is almost going to be a good game right here. Urgot will swap, but it will not matter. They've now picked up 4. Aurelia probably nowhere to be seen, or at least has run away very, very quickly. But that was just, honestly, that was really, really silly team fight from MDG. They kind of ran in there sort of haphazardly down this way, and then they kind of like, oh no, Amumu ultimate, but I'm stunned and I'm dying, and then, oh, no one's in position to actually fight with his ultimate. And they're just diving right away onto the Nexus, and there's no time. Yeah, there's the surrender, but actually, good game. Oh God Bears will move on.
Oh no!
And, that's the main round now, right?
You didn't see Aurelia because she disconnected. she's up here in town with me. They're like, Jax, you got to hit surrender for us. I'm like, oh, so yeah, that's what happened there.
That's unfortunate. I mean, even still though, that would not have changed that fight. There was way too much damage going on there. They were definitely screwed. Of course, unfortunate to see someone DC, but that game was definitely decided by that point. So
yeah, we can probably go.
Very good play. Very good play by Oh God Bears. Really, really awesome stuff from them. They're going to move on. I believe that's moving on to the main round. Am I right?
Main round sounds about right. I think we have main round, then group stage, then world stage, I do believe. Yeah. But it is, you know, another 3 rounds to go. This is only qualifying round number 2. It's just like, you know, going from the 32 to the 16 to the 8 to the 2 to the 4. You know, that typical tournament structure. But yeah, round 2, qualifying round number 2 between MD Gaming and Oh God Bears is now wrapped up here in the National ESL. And, you know, for those of you that were complaining, you know, can't watch the stream, stream's too laggy. Yes, fine. We have had some issues. It's okay though, because we are going to be uploading the HD VODs later this week, so you can always catch up on it a little bit later. Thank you very much to Riot Freak for doing the streaming and commentating with me here with FourCourtJester, and it's always a pleasure doing this with you, Freak.
No, thank you very much. It was great to have you here. It was a really fun cast. Of course, I'm always enamored with doing these National ESL casts and all competitive League of Legends. It's just so much fun for me. So of course, thank you for showing up. And we're correct that we do not have a third game today.
I'm about to go check that right now.